All right, welcome back. Same shirt, different week. Thanks for clicking. I'm back obviously with some info regarding my newly acquired new job, not the new job of August, but the new job of, I swear that seems like I had that thing 3 months ago. It seems like forever ago. But it's the new job of September, which will hopefully be just, hopefully last for a while. And based on, I just finished my second day today. Based on my second day, I'm happy to report that, if things continue to go like how they did today, that maybe I could be here for a while. I mean, I just want to have a job and just stay there. I don't like, obviously, all this bouncing around crap, but I don't do it nearly as much as some people do. Like the job I had before my last job, I was there for almost 4 years. This last job, I was just a couple months shy of being there for 3 years. So it's not like I'm at a job for 6 months or something and quit. So, but still, I'd like to just, I've never had a job for, 4 years or more, and I'd like to just be at a job. So I'm happy to report I worked, yesterday was like orientation. Oh, let me briefly say what happened. So this is the deal. A week ago tomorrow, which is Sunday, a week ago tomorrow, as far as I know, I applied at this particular job. And then Monday, the following day, Monday, I got a call for an interview, and I think Tuesday I went in for the interview. And they told me on the spot that I had the job. And then it was Thursday, I got an email saying, congratulations, mark your calendar, your orientation is Tuesday, like the next, it was Thursday then, so Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday at 10 a.m. And I was like, hell yeah. And, like I said in my previous video, I was excited about orientation, not to only just start a new job or start a potentially, hopefully decent, or well, it's a retail job, so I mean, it's not decent, but doable, we'll just say doable or put up withable job, and I was really excited about doing orientation with a group of new people as well, because we're all in the same boat. I already talked about that. So, so basically I spent the next 5 days, which is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, the next basically 4 days, being in a better than normal mood because of it. I was like, yippee, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed for the next 4 days, and I'm like, yippee, skippy, I get to start my, hopefully, my new job, and hopefully one that'll last next week. At the time it was next week. Oh my gosh. So I'm just going to briefly talk, oh my gosh, I better briefly talk about it. So long story short, I go into work, and 10 a.m., I've been sleeping in for months and months, so 10 a.m. was early for me. So I managed to drag myself there and get my walk in at 5 to 10 or whatever, and like I'm here for orientation, and the first red flag was like, oh, there's orientation today? It's just like, what's his name's here for orientation, and it's like, go sit over there. So like, I don't know, 10, 11 minutes later, I'm like, oh man, and then someone walks up to me and says like, yeah, they screwed up, there's no orientation today, and it's like, they must have forgot to tell you to disregard the email because we call you for the orientation. And I'm like, I'm sure that when I left the interview on Tuesday, no one ever mentioned disregard the email, because I would have remembered it, because the new job is important to me, so I wouldn't have just forgot that, bit of information where it's like, disregard the email, we'll call you. She may have said, we'll call you to tell you when to come in for orientation, but I'm pretty sure she never said disregard an email. So you can imagine I was pretty, having dragged myself up. Then I couldn't barely sleep the night before, so I hadn't had a lot of sleep and dragging myself up. You can never, it's like truth is stranger than fiction. I could have never imagined that when I drove there and walked in the store that day that you know, you think about every possible scenario that could go wrong, except for like that was the only thing I never thought of, was that, you know, through some screw up, well, it's their screw up, you know, the email I got was false, you know, and there was no orientation that day. To me, it'd be much better to not send out a false email that you're supposed to disregard. That would be much easier, because make it less confusing. So long story short, I behaved in a way which wasn't a big deal, but I, you know, in retrospect, walking out of there, I was like, oh shit, you know, I hope my attitude wasn't, understandably so, that great, because I was extremely disappointed. And I wasted like 6 minutes talking about that. So anyway, long story short, then I get a call on Thursday. Okay, your orientation's tomorrow. Because then I spent, you know, the rest of Tuesday and Wednesday worrying if anyone was going to tell how I behaved and my attitude about being disappointed. And I was like, what if I screwed it up? And just all this overly sensitive, just, you know, what if shit, you know. Then I was delighted to get a phone call on Thursday saying your orientation is tomorrow, Friday. So I'm like, yippee, skippy. So I went into orientation yesterday at 10 a.m. and it was like 10 to 1 or something. And it was just filling out crap paperwork, of course, and watching like corporate goofball video and stuff. And you know, the person that was the person I was dealing with was nice, and I think it was only yesterday, but because I had so little sleep the day before and last night, and I didn't sleep too terribly long last night either, and I worked 8 hours, which is a lot for me. My former job of almost 3 years, I barely have an 8-hour shift. I used to do those all the time 10 years ago, you know, but, so, I mean, I'm just in a bad state right now. I can't really, I mean, doesn't even seem like I worked yesterday. But it was only yesterday when I did this orientation. It seemed like a week ago. I can't even barely remember. But I remember being relatively impressed with whoever I came across. You know, everyone was kind of friendly, and anyone I came across yesterday, you know, and she'd introduced me to everyone, of course, that we'd pass and all this stuff. And I remember feeling, you know, even if these people are fake nice, I'll take fake nice over real mean, you know, authentic mean any day, you know. At work, I wouldn't necessarily like to hang out with fake nice people, but at work I'll take fake nice over, you know, authentic mean any day of the week. So, you know, I mean, that wasn't really a first day. It was just paperwork and watching videos and shit. So, I mean, I was gonna make a video yesterday, but I'm like, there's really not anything to talk about. So today, oh my gosh, get this. When it's hard for me to actually be to work at 10 or, you know, 10:45 in the morning, I had to be there today at 8 a.m., which to me is like 5 a.m., you know, it's early. But somehow I did it, you know. I probably, you know, only got 6 hours of sleep or maybe something, which isn't a lot for me. Especially having not had any sleep the night before, but I gotta really try to go fast here and wrapping up. But went in today, and I'm sorry to say that it was like unexpected. I was supposed to do some training on the cashier or cash register today, and I got there and someone's like called in sick, so they had me do an hour of like crap on the computer, like training, which is just, I hate it, because I'm kind of, I don't really learn that way. I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but I pretty much have to just do things to learn. I can't really learn looking at text and trying to memorize shit. It's just the words are so dead on the screen for me. I can't do it. But I got through an hour of that, and then the guy's like, come on out here and to the floor, and I'm like, finally. And the guy I was kind of in a bad mood, having sat in there for an hour doing this crap and trying to pass these tests and stuff. So by the time the guy came to get me, I was kind of in a bad mood. Plus he was kind of like, at first impression, he was kind of like one of these fake people who was just asking me, so what do you like to do for fun? Just all these questions he doesn't really give a shit about, or at least at that time that's how I took it. And I was just like in a bad mood, and I was like, oh my god, when I get in a bad mood, I'm just such a fucking grouch, and I was so pissed at myself. And then to my unpleasantness or unhappiness, he's like, very much what happened at my job, I had to quit. He's like, I'm thinking, you know, we're going out to the cash registers and stuff, and you're gonna put me right on, or I'll shadow someone else or whatever. And then he's like, hands me this book and is like, here's a cash register, not a book, but a booklet, training guide. And I'm just like, just like they're doing everything they can to keep me from actually like watching someone ring up or let me even do it myself. And I'm just like, my mood's deteriorating, and I'm just like, I'm feeling really depressed, like, oh my God, I'm doomed, I'm never going to find a job that, is going to work. I wasn't going to quit or anything, but I was just like, kind of bummed, Long story short, because I have to wrap up, today I had 8 hours worth, so I had plenty of time to actually eventually, I'd say maybe 90 minutes or so into my shift today, I've actually got to shadow someone on the register, and before you know it, because I'm such a pro at deadbeat retail cashiering jobs, I shadowed someone for maybe 45 minutes, and then I switched and they were watching me, and before you know it, I spent the majority of my shift today just ringing up on myself and just asking someone when I had the occasional question, the occasional thing I've never experienced before, like, having them pay by check or whatever, And it was just like the first day at, one of the video store that I worked at from '04 to '07 that I actually talked about before, and having a very great first day at that video store. You might as well consider today a first day. And it's just great to be able to actually, in your first shift, to be able to pretty much be left alone more or less. I was on the register and just ringing up, and it's just like, wow, people buy a lot of crap. It's like when they spend a lot of money at once and they buy a lot of stuff at once. But long story short, I'm pleased to report that that as far as and of course, as far as I know, this was a pretty good first day. I'm a little tired, but I still think if I was fully normal and not tired, I still think it'd be a good day. And obviously, as my spirit improved as I was, on the register and stuff, when people would ask me, and coworkers and stuff would ask me, how's it going? Of course I wasn't lying, but I made sure to be like, add maybe a little more excitement or a little more positivity onto it, just for a good measure. I was careful to be like, it's going great. Of course, I wasn't faking, it's not like I was lying for sake of, having a good face on. It was true anyway, so that was convenient. So there you go. Luckily I have tomorrow off, so I can actually catch up on a little bit of sleep. I gotta be there at 8 a.m. on Monday, 8 until 1 on Monday, and unfortunately I think it's more computer, like, quiz training crap on Monday, but after that it's like, after that, next week and the week following is what it says on the schedule, just, register stuff. So they got me down for like 3 more days of training, when I don't really think, I'm on the register by myself now, so this whole training thing, it's basically just go on the register and just ask for help when something comes up. So, I don't think, I'm necessarily going to be training for 3 or 4 more days, but I'm very happy to report, obviously, good news, and here's hoping, for this I got to wrap up this good streak to continue. I met, a whole bunch of new people and so many new faces today, and I might talk about this in another video because I'm out of time now, but that were positive and friendly faces. I felt like, I don't know. I was really tired when I got home, but I ate something and it charged me up a little more, and ever since then I'm feeling pretty damn good so far about this job. So that's obviously a good sign. I feel a lot better about this job, obviously, on the first day than I did about the last job on the first day, the one I was at for 4 days. So I got to wrap up. So how about that? I got a little bit of good news, and hopefully the good news keeps coming, and I'll definitely keep you guys updated. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.